Hey guys, we're gonna dive in for the long haul for the chat, but in just a minute. Post a link on the community page just in case someone wants to come up. Not that I have anything planned for people coming up, but you know, let's play it by ear. Hey Coco, I finally got it right. Just when I start remembering everyone's, alternate handle or their email address. Hey Kat, hey Kat, I don't know if you heard my reply um, to your question, and I think you nailed it. I think you were head on about making the illusion real. Give me a moment. I'm going to read a little prayer from A Course in Miracles, one of my favorites, and I know Kat likes this too. Hey, Kat, did you see that you got a present? Hey, Lady Sky. There we go. Hey, Danny. Let me bring up my little prayer. So many prayers have become very meaningful to me as offered through the Course. My desktop is moving kind of slow. Hey, Kelly. How are you? So, it's a good way to start things off, guys. From chapter 2 of A Course in Miracles. When you hear me say him, it is with a capital H, and we are talking about God, Tao, Christ consciousness, the universe, love, whatever you want to use. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because He who sent me will direct me. I will be content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He goes there with me. I will be healed as I let Him to teach me to heal. It's a beautiful prayer. I love it. I love it. Love it. It is posted, Lady Sky. I figured we'll talk a bit. Let's see. Ishan, did I get that right? Ishan Sharma. Hello, everyone. I am a yoga teacher. If anyone wants to learn Indian authentic yoga, can contact me. You will feel amazing just after one session. Free trial available. Well, thank you for posting your link. Well, make sure you post your link. Yogi, what is your name? Or do you go by Yogi? My name is Eric. H sound is whole. Source, heal, health, heavenly. I like that. Hey, Abigail. Thank you for being here, my friend. The top mod of all the mods. Abigail's doing awesome. How's your tooth feel? Hey, Lady Sky, I'm going to wait just a little bit. With the C, Kelly. Danny says hi to Ishan. Hey, Songahan. Hey, Jamie. So we have a friend going through a bit of a hard time. Not going to mention names. They don't visit the channel much any longer, but they're going through a hard time. And just sending out prayers for our friend. Some of you might know. Just prayers. If you guys just put it out there. Don't need to know specifics. Abigail says, awesome. Hey, Sue. Bud Files is here. Hello, my friend. Abigail says, are you here, Shirley? Sadly, no, she isn't, Abigail. Zephyr says, prayers. Love you, man. I think you know, Sniper. Songahan says, prayers for our friend. Thank you, Songahan. Lady Sky says, hi, Jamie Brown. Hey, Lady Sky, I'm just going to talk for a little bit, and then we'll have some people hop up. Unless you're in a hurry, if you got to be somewhere, let me know. Always want to work around your schedule. So there's a reason why I started out with that prayer. You know, I think about my channel. I think if it's working out, if I'm presenting something, right? Am I a good teacher of A Course in Miracles? Am I a good yoga teacher? But here's the thing. I'm not supposed to be good. I'm not even supposed to have a good channel. I'm supposed to demonstrate. That's it. I'm supposed to demonstrate, and by demonstrating, one, I get better. Did you hear our friend Martin last night when he talked about the only thing we're supposed to do is see our brothers, sisters as sinless. We're supposed to see them as innocent. That's difficult sometimes, right? Especially when we see them through the lens of our judgment, and our judgment is saying, you did this to me. I don't trust you. I don't believe you. I don't like you, right? How am I supposed to see him as innocent? That's the challenge. That's the practice. So we practice. We practice through life, every day, every moment. So I get caught up in that, creating a peaceful spot. And again, I don't believe there's a truly peaceful spot on the entire internet. It's not supposed to be, right? Whenever you have that many people gathering around and they're anonymous and they can say whatever they feel like they want to say, there's going to be people who say whatever they feel like they want to say. That's okay. That's our opportunity to practice. All of us are opportunity to practice with each other. And the practice is, can I see your innocence? Can I see you through the eyes, the lens of Christ, of Krishna, of Buddha, of the Holy Spirit? Let's see. Lady Sky says, my mama's on her way home. Oh, come on up. Come on up, Lady Sky. I always want you to come up. I got all night to talk about stuff. Kat says, if you judge people as taking advantage of others, does that mean I take advantage of others in some sort of way? Yes. We all do. We all do. There's no escaping around that what we see is our projection. We project what we don't have. Hey, Kat, did you see your gift?
Hello.
Hey, Heavenly Star. Hey, Lady Sky.
Hello.
Heavenly Star just popped in the chat. She said Yogi Bear. She's one of the few people that call me Yogi Bear.
When I first saw the bear after your name, I was like, is he trying to remember the cartoon Yogi Bear? Or...
I did like that cartoon.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Did you bring a picnic basket?
I don't know if I remember my parents had a picnic basket, or as Yogi used to say, a picnic basket.
Yeah.
But he was smarter than the average bear. Cat says, dang it. That's the law of projection, Cat. If you recognize it, we have it. But that's okay, though. That's perfect. Because now you see it. So what's the song for tonight?
It's a Beatles song, "Let It Be."
Excellent
If
song.
what was the guy's name that likes the UK music?
That was Tiger King.
Tiger King. I don't know if Tiger King's here.
I haven't seen him yet.
And my mom just now called me saying, "Where's my dinner?"
She on her way?
Yeah,
You got time for the
right
song?
after I pop on here, she calls, wanting to know if I'm gonna be doing dinner.
You gonna have time for to sing a song and then do dinner?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm gonna play the song, but my TV's muted, so.
Right.
Oh, I have to show you something. I made coffee for the first time.
Well,
After 3 weeks of not having coffee, I made
how'd it
coffee.
taste?
It tastes wonderful.
Everything that you dreamed of for the past 3 weeks?
Yeah, basically. Yes, I know. I gotta cook supper. Stop calling me. She's calling me again. Let me see what she wants, and then I'll be right back.
Sure.
I apologize.
That's okay. That's okay. Cat says, I don't know what you mean, Yogi. About the projection, Cat, or about the present that you got? I got sent a lovely pen, handmade, handcrafted by Chris, Nature's Dogworms. And in the package that she sent me, there was an envelope that said, for Cat and Jack. And it's a handcrafted keychain. It says Autumn. Pretty cool, huh? What a thoughtful gift. So, all right, the law of projection. The mind does two things, but only one of them is real. The mind extends love, which is reality. Every loving thought is true, everything else is an illusion. So, we are either extending love or we are projecting. We are projecting judgments, grievance, resentments. Yes, it's all, yes, very sweet. Let's see. Sean says, say I dropped my contact number above. DM me for a free yoga trial. All right, guys. If anyone wants yoga with Ashan, the link is up above. So, but again, that's the good news, because nothing is healed until you see it. If you are bleeding eternally and you don't know it, you're going to bleed out. If you are judging and judging and judging, if you're projecting, and every projection is from the ego. The ego isn't true. The ego is a social construct, a belief construct. It's the false representation of who we think we are. That's okay, Lady Sky. So now when you know all this judgment that I see is my own, you get to heal it. You don't heal it by changing other people. You don't heal it by saying, hey, that's just your ego, man. You don't heal it by saying that's your judgment, that's your projection. They're not going to see it. They don't need to see it. You see it. So you heal it. That's really good news. Hey, country. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I
That's
knew
okay.
it was going to be dinner. So I knew it was going to be dinner. Like, are you going to get dinner ready? It's fish sticks and french fries. Nothing
Oh.
but greasy food.
Shouldn't take long to cook though, right?
Yeah, I do like to cook, but I'm not eating no fish sticks and French fries. I may
Yeah.
have a bacon sandwich with some French fries tonight. I don't much care for fish sticks. Fish. Do you eat fish?
I don't eat fish. I don't eat anything that has a faith, has a face, or had a mother.
Yeah.
My rule of thumb.
All right. Well, I'm gonna sing this song because she's on her way.
All right.
She's just
I'm
now
looking.
leaving work, so
How long of a drive?
it'll be about a half hour. It's about 30 minutes. On usually Fridays, it's usually a lot of heavy traffic on Fridays
Right.
because everybody else is getting off work too around this time of day.
It's true.
But I'm gonna go ahead and sing this song. Have you ever sung this song before? Let It Be.
I have. I like it a lot,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
like singing it too.
Oh, cool. Well, I have my TV muted, so Let It Be by the Beatles. This is for you, Tiger King, if you're listening. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Yeah, there will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. It's playing music, but it's not finished yet.
Right.
Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And that's the end of that song.
That was a really good song for you. I think your
Yeah.
voice was perfect for it.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Um, always one of my favorites. Always one of my favorite songs. Actually, that album, the Let It Be album, is probably my favorite Beatles album.
Yeah. I like the song from Here Comes the Sun from
Yep.
the Beatles. That's a good song.
It is. I've
And
sung that before too.
you sang that one?
Yep.
I don't know if I can find that song.
You're looking for it.
Yeah, I'm looking for it real quick.
So, guys in the chat, what are your thoughts?
I
Hey,
hope
Kathy.
everyone liked that song.
I bet
Let it
everyone
be.
did. Our friend Kathy Payton is here. Kathy, how are you? Kathy's an old friend. Kathy and I go way back, about 2 years now.
Cat and Jack.
No, Kathy Payton.
All right, I found Here Comes the Sun. I'm gonna let it play. Domino's Pizza ad.
So let us know when you're ready.
All right, it's playing. It's just playing its music.
Right.
Here comes the sun. Doo 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 doo. Here comes the sun. And I say, it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo 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 doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Little darling, the smiles returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo 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 doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Sun, 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 here it comes. 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 Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. It's all right. That's the end of that song.
Another good song for you.
I do a lot of these songs because I've sung these songs at karaoke streams
Right.
many, many times. So I'm kind of used to how I do perfection, but I try not to do perfection that much.
Um, I like singing the Beatles because I grew up with the Beatles. So the songs are usually very, very familiar to me.
Yeah.
They roll
Well, I
roll off.
listened to the Beatles, and I grew up with them. When I was a kid, I listened to them over and over on the radio.
Me too. Um,
Oh, this coffee is so good.
yeah, I bet. 3 weeks without it.
I know, right? It's crazy.
I will have to go a couple hours without my morning cup um, next week because we're getting a blood test.
Oh, you drink? I didn't know you drink coffee.
1 cup a day, very early in the morning.
I normally drink coffee at night, but it all depends if I feel cold, and I get cold very easily. So today I felt cold, so I made a cup of coffee.
Does it? It doesn't keep you up at all.
No, it doesn't bother me.
Good.
I don't get hyper off of caffeine or sugar. I try to limit my sugar intake anyway.
We say our friend Kathy Payton is back. Kathy, what have you been up to lately?
But I hope that what was the guy's name that wanted me to sing Amy Winehouse?
Uh, Tiger King.
Tiger King. I hope he listens to those two
Um,
songs since he's from the UK.
yep. I will make sure when he pops in, um, to mention so he can find it.
Yeah, he'll probably rewind, look at this later if he has a chance.
Right.
I
If
know
I
he's
was
6 hours ahead of me, and it's like almost 11 o'clock there at night
right.
because it's almost 5 for me, so it's almost 11 for him. I've never been to the UK, but I've heard it's like almost like a 10-hour flight.
Yeah, I think it's fairly long.
But it's weird though how the time difference is. For you, it's 5 hours. For me, it's 6 hours. But if you fly over there, it's like a little bit longer. It's
Yeah,
kind of
true.
weird. Like, how's that possible?
Even worse when you're flying to like Australia.
Yeah, it takes like a whole entire day and then another day.
I think it's like a 16-hour flight, not counting like layovers.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Australia?
I have not.
Me neither.
It's a great
But I
place
could
though.
do a really good impression. Like, good day,
Let's hear it.
mate. Good day,
One more.
mate. How you doing, mate?
Good. Very good. I thought I thought I was listening to Crocodile Dundee there for a second.
That's it's a my version of an Australian accent. I'm not trying to make fun of people's accents. I know mine's freaking people out when I talk.
Right.
I sound like Forrest Gump,
No, you have a very a lyrical lilt to your voice.
meaning twangy.
No, um,
No,
I've heard twangier. I think you got to go
I
a little farther south to get the deep the deep twang.
Yeah. Well, probably mine's like redneck or something. I don't know.
Hey, toy pups. I used to watch the Midas Touch, Kathy. It's a online news
Midas
source.
touch.
Yep. Toy pups
Hello,
was
toy
napping.
pup.
Hey, that's that. All right, so, ladies, we're going to see if anyone else wants to pop up and chat for a little bit.
All right.
Thanks for coming up
Well,
and
I
singing.
gotta start cooking dinner, so.
I appreciate it. We'll be thinking about you tomorrow. I know you're going to have a tough day.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm going to 2 different funerals, and they start they're at the same funeral home, which is a good thing, so I don't have to travel to another funeral home. And one starts at 11 a.m. They have visiting hours from 9 until service time, and the other one's in the afternoon. So from 1 p.m. to service time is at 3 for visiting hours. And these 2 gentlemen, they basically watched me grow up in the church from when I was a kid from a baby to now.
Hmm.
So I got to pay my
Yep.
respects to these
De-
two
definitely.
two guys that were like they loved Jesus. These 2 gentlemen, they loved Jesus. They were church men. So I have to pay my respects to them because they were both there when my grandfather passed away, and they came to my grandfather's funeral 7 years ago.
Right.
It'll be 8 years in March on the first day of spring that my grandfather passed away. So, and my grandmother's turning 90 this December,
Oh, wow.
and if my grandfather was still living, his birthday is next month, and he would be turning 99 this year.
My father would be turning 99 as well this year. Had
Oh,
he made
really?
it. He passed away at 94.
My grandfather passed away at the age of 93. So, and it's been 7 years already. So my next month on the 12th of November is my grandfather's birthday, and he would have been 99. So if he was still living, I miss my grandfather a lot.
I can understand that. I miss my father every day.
Yeah, same here. My dad. It'll be 9 years for my dad come December 19th. He was one short of turning 66 the next following month.
Hmm.
And if my dad was still living, he would be 74 this year. He would be 75 in January. Oh, thank you, Heavenly. I was really close to my dad. I was a daddy's girl growing up, so
Right.
I was always a daddy's girl, and I always will be.
Yeah, I was close with my dad too.
Oh, you were?
Yep.
That's good
Never.
that you had that bond with your dad.
It is. I was there. I became his caregiver. His
What was he sick? Was your dad sick with cancer or
no, he had
not trying to be nosy?
no, it's okay. He had congestive heart failure. Um, man, my dad went through a lot. You know, he was born in the Depression, grew up very poor in the mountains in Pennsylvania. Dropped out of high school to join the Navy at the end of World War II. With the GI Bill and working in the steel mills in Pennsylvania, put himself
Oh
through
wow.
college to become a teacher. Uh, Raised 3 kids, 3 troublesome kids. Um,
You couldn't be a troubled kid growing up.
I was pretty troubled, 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 and troublesome at the same time.
Oh no. So you were
Um,
a bad boy in school when you were in
I
elementary, middle, and high.
all the way up until I was 30 something years old, actually. Um, and then when he retired and expecting things to be a little, easier, my
Yeah.
mom was diagnosed a couple years later with Alzheimer's disease, and he did not want to have to put my mom in a home, and he asked me and my two siblings, "Hey, um, if you all help, we can keep your mom with us for as long as possible." So I was a caregiver with my dad for my mom for almost 10 years. He
Oh,
had a
wow.
stroke. He had a stroke during that time.
Well, I'm so
Um,
sorry that he passed away. What you're describing to me.
right.
I'm not trying to be nosy. I didn't want to be
But that's okay.
nosy.
Not a, it's okay. Perfectly. I love talking about my dad. Um, but he recovered from his stroke. But I had to help a little bit more with my mom. Uh, when my mom passed away, he asked if I would basically be his full time caregiver. He was having bouts with pneumonia.
Yeah.
Uh, One time it was so bad that they couldn't get his lungs to drain, and they actually had to keep a catheter in his lungs to drain him, and we had to
Oh,
change it
wow.
twice a day. Um, my ex-wife really helped a lot with my dad as well. She loved my dad, but my dad kept popping back, and he kept working out. Um, One day he came out of the hospital with pneumonia. Like 2 days later, maybe 3 days later, I don't remember. He came into my little office where I am now and said, "I moved in with my dad and my mom after my divorce when my dad needed help.
Yeah.
Um,
So you could take care of your dad.
yeah, and help with my mom. Um, he came into my office said he had some pain in his side, and I said, "Do you want to go to the emergency room?" He said, "No, I have an appointment with my doctor in a week or so. I just wanted to mention, he can help me
Yeah.
remember."
Let you
And
know.
yep, and I said, you know, I don't want you to be in pain. So if we're in pain, we're better off going to the emergency room. And we went, and when he was there waiting, his gallbladder burst. It was septic.
Oh,
And
my.
the doctor said he was 91 at the time. He was just, like I said, out of the hospital with pneumonia. So he was in a weakened state. And the doctor said it's not likely that someone's going to survive this. A young, healthy person might not survive all that, let alone someone in a
Yeah.
weakened state. Um, 3 days later, my ex wife went to visit him, and he was out of bed with a walker doing laps around the hospital room. And he looked up
Trying
and
to
said,
keep
"You got to."
movement.
That's exactly what he said to my ex wife. "You got to keep moving." Smiled and kept on walking. The last night before he went um, into the hospital for the very last time, he did make it home for hospice one night and passed away that night. But the day he went to the hospital for the last time, um, he asked me to help him out of his wheelchair, and we used to do a lap through from the living room through the kitchen down the hallway back in the living room. It was I call it my father's memorial track, and I still walk it when I'm warming up to work out.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
he kept moving. He was a strong guy, no matter what happened.
Are you the oldest son or middle or the
I'm the
last?
I'm the youngest.
You're the last child.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Let's see.
dad, he was in March of 2016, my dad um wasn't feeling too well, and we just got off the phone, and about an hour later he calls me again. A couple of hours later, he was in the hospital, and a nurse was talking to me on the phone, wanting to know if I was the next of kin. And I'm like, yes, I'm his daughter. What's wrong with my dad? And they told me what went happened. My dad had a heart attack, and he died. And they brought him back, and he was laying on the floor unconscious when the ambulance people. I wasn't there to witness it. I was here in my apartment at the time in 2016 in March, and over the next several months, my dad spent a lot of the time in the hospital, but it was a VA hospital. It was a regular hospital, and he was in intensive care unit, and it was in Nat here in Nashville, Vanderbilt. And during this late spring, I think it was like June, almost summertime. I went over to the hospital and to see him. And after I told my mom this on that day, I told my mom like the hospital called, dad's in the hospital. He died, but they revived him back, and they need me to see see the doctors need to see me. So we went over there the next day, and I talked to a lot of doctors, and they told me, and I was just in shock at the time. And then he stayed in the hospital till October of 2016, and they let him uh, go back home. But then when he was home for a week, he realized that he couldn't take care of himself, so he went to he went to the VA hospital and under hospice care because he was at that age, 65. Um, he didn't think he could take care of himself, so he needed hospice.
Right.
And on December 19th in the morning at 8:30 in the morning, the hospital at the VA hospital called me and told me that he passed away that morning. And but the night before, I talked to my dad, and he was having a breathing attack because he had COPD. He smoked for over like 50 years,
Hmm.
and when you smoke, you get COPD, and you're on oxygen,
Right.
and you have to carry an oxygen tank, on the go oxygen tank with you. So that's what he did when he was like 65. After he turned 65, he was on oxygen in 2016. And on December 19th, it'll make 9 years. And I can't believe it'll be 9 years.
Wow. I
And
understand that. Just
it hasn't been easy. The first few years it wasn't easy. It didn't seem surreal that my dad was gone. But after the fifth year came, it kind of like gave me that surreal sunk in at peace moment. Like my
right.
dad's not really here anymore. I have to move on. And I always have my moments when I think about my dad. You always have your moments, the good memories of your dad. And I have a lot of memories with my dad because I remember when I was a child, I would have um, time with my dad, and we would go see movies and have dinner, and we would go other places besides the theater. And it's those memories that keeps us going, the happy memories. So I'm
Well,
not trying to
good.
be a Debbie Downer, but I do miss my dad, and I do look like my dad in the face. If you saw me, I would, I'm a dad. I look just like my dad, and I have two other siblings that my dad has from a previous relationship. I have two other siblings which is I have an older brother that's 15 years older than me, and I have a older sister that is 11 years older than me.
Wow.
So I'm the third youngest of my dad kids. So, and I have two nephews by my older sister. My older brother doesn't have any kids, and I don't have kids, but I have two nephews.
I have a niece. Hi, Jamie.
Do you see your niece a lot?
Hardly ever. Doesn't live
Are they
that far
ever?
away either. My sister lives across the street, right across the street, and I don't think I've seen her in probably about a year.
Wow.
Hey, Nino.
Well, I need a skadoodle, so
All right.
I need to
Thank
get
you, Lady
supper
Sky. Appreciate it.
going. Oh, thank you. And thank you for letting me sing.
Always.
So I
All right,
hope y'all have
guys.
a great Saturday tomorrow when y'all are singing.
Thank you. And like I said, we'll be thinking about you.
Oh, you're well. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's going to be a tough day for my church family, my church family.
Right.
So, because everybody knew those two guys. One was 70 and the other one was 74. So they were like 4 years apart from their age. So,
Well, send in prayers, my friend.
thank you. I appreciate it.
And we will
And I
see you
hope
soon.
everybody liked the singing that I sung the two songs.
I know they did.
They're Beatles classic.
They are, definitely.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, Lady Sky. Hey, Brandon. Nice to see you again. All right. What do you guys want to talk about? Throw it out there. We were talking before about projection, extension. The ego projects, spirit extends. Every loving thought is true. Everything else is a projection of the ego, which means it's not good, not bad. It means it's not true. It's not real. We live in a world of projection, but every single one of our projection is false. Simply says, how religious is your sister? If I may inquire, not religious at all. She went to Catholic school from grade school up until middle school. High school, she went to public school. And she was very rebellious. More so than me. I was very quietly rebellious. Sab says, manifestation through projection. Jimmy says, hey to Sab, not seen you for a long time. Funny, all of us, went to Catholic school, but none of us turned out very religious. Maybe, I believe my brother has some kind of faith. He probably retained a little more of his Catholic upbringing than I did. Brandon says I was loudly rebellious. Well, if you're going to be rebellious, you should be loud about it. So it says me too, or an observer rebellion. Like I was telling Kat the other day that I was always in trouble, but never a troublemaker. I just found myself in trouble. Sort of, let's see what happens if I do this. And then go on, uh-oh, that's not good. Shouldn't have done that. Kathy says, I followed you, Brandon. Thank you, Kathy, for following our friends. Guys, make sure you return the favor. Brandon says, I went to Baptist school, and I'm not religious at all. Was your family religious? Did you go there for the religious upbringing? Or for me, my parents thought I'd get a better education, and it was free. It was a very expensive private school, but I went for free because my mom was a teacher there, which was not a blessing at all for me or for my mom, because my brother and sister went there too. They were good students. I was never a good student. And again, I was quietly in trouble, always, all the time. And my mom had to deal with it, and it was a source of great, great embarrassment for her. She was very studious growing up, very strict mother. She would come home, she would do chores, she would get her homework done, she would practice piano for an hour, and then she would do all the other stuff. She'd help with dinner. She might have done all the cooking. She took care of her younger sister. Hey, Michael. Michael, how are you feeling? Can't stay too long. Sorry for not socializing with that much this week. This respiratory virus is kicking my butt. I know. Our friend Sissy has been going through it as well. Kathy says, I can't believe you got in trouble, Derek. I did. But again, it wasn't like hurtful stuff. I found myself, you know, just in trouble. I was a curious kid. I would wander off. I couldn't stand school. I could not concentrate on anything unless I was really, really interested in it. None of my questions would ever be answered. Um, so I would stare out the window. I had, um, I was a bit of a smartass, guys. I don't know if you can believe that. I was a smartass. I had a smart ass answer for everything. Here's what I realized. I had trouble as a kid. I had a speech impediment. I had problems with my eyes. I was an easy target. Except at a certain point, I no longer wanted to be a target, either easy or otherwise. So I developed two things. I'd make people laugh before they laughed at me. And I realized that, in grade school, kids push and shove and they wrestle. They do not like to be hit in the face. And I quickly realized that um, getting a reputation as someone that would basically go, you know, off the deep end in a fight was someone that people did not want to mess around with. Not great. Not great. I'd much prefer making someone laugh, except at a certain point, that sarcasm, that laughter becomes a weapon too. Sense of humor is a great gift, but when you use it against someone, even when it's a form of defense, it's not good. I wish I knew things otherwise, but I didn't. Took me a little while to outgrow that when I realized I just am not a kind hearted person, and I felt bad whenever I was mean to someone, even when they were seeking to be mean to me. I never liked bullies, and I didn't like myself even when I bullied bullies. Pete says a smart ass yogi. That was me. Brandon says my dad was raised Catholic. He told me about the nuns hitting him. Yep, his hand with the rulers. I won't say my father was religious, but they wanted me to have the best education, which I'm happy for. You feel you got a good education there, Brandon? I did not get a good education in my Catholic school because I coasted through. Sniper says I had the cane ruler, slipper gym shoe, belt chalk eraser, the tens of thousands of lines. I had many of those as well. Brandon says you're so smartass. I am too. When I was first on for live, I got a phone call and said, sorry, what did I miss? And you said you would go over the last half hour, only for me word by word. Yes, that sounds like something that I would say. I feel like I should offer you an apology. Toy Pep says it's a mask that people put on, making fun of other people in a mean way. It is. You're absolutely right. What's going on, Carl? Why are you in trouble? He says big muscles and funny. Not as big as they used to be. Probably not as funny as I used to be either. At my heaviest, I was 220 pounds. I posted the photo here before. So what's going on, Carl? Michael says, to answer your question, I've been sleeping pretty much all day due to having a fever registering behind 100 degrees. Wow. And fighting full body shivering all day. I'm sorry, my friend. I was hoping those, the antibacteria stuff would have been helping you. Antibacteria? Antiviral? Evan says, Yorick, I'm at the bus stop right now to go to the Blue Jays game. What game are they in? This is still the playoffs, right? Hey, Stitch says hi to our pups. Brandon says, I hated bullies and always stood up for the other kids that were getting bullied by the bullies. That's the way to do it. Stitch says, Brandon, it was more the teachers than the bullies back then. He says, when and why did you go vegan? When did you get into miracles? Great questions. I've been vegan for 16 years. I was vegetarian. Occasionally, I would cheat as a vegetarian. Probably for 10 years before that. So vegetarian and vegan for about 26 years now. Vegan, I've been very strict, and I became vegan for one reason only, to be kind. I wanted my diet to be a reflection of my kindness, um, meaning I needed to do it across the board. I thought the yogic diet, which is vegetarian, needed to be upgraded because back then, uh, they would have dairy, uh, and maybe eggs. I don't remember, but that's when you had, animal husbandry. They took care of the animals that took care of them. It's not the case now. So if your diet is a reflection of ahimsa, which means non-harm, um, then for me it was about being a vegan. But I don't ever tell anyone I'm not a preachy vegan. And I've been into the Course in Miracles. I've been studying. I've been a student for over 30 years. For me, it's an extension of my yoga practice. Carl says I was kind on my live stream behind the camera. I'm sorry, Carl. What's going on, my friend? Brandon says no need to apologize. I was laughing. I believe it was an interview with Lucy where I met her as well. It was a good interview. Lucy's very brave, opening up with her story. Pip Pup says, why to Carl and hey to Stitchy. Stitch says, how are you, Toy Pups? Michael says, I hate bullies, but I was never really bullied. I had friends growing up that turned out not being real friends. But other than that, yeah, bullies suck. They do. Oh, so it's hey, who are they playing? Evan says World Series, and you said they were going to take the whole thing, right? I guess it's not the Baltimore Orioles, so I would have heard about it. Carl says I've been bullied before on YouTube. I've had people attempt to bully me on YouTube. I pretty much like to think that I am bully proof. Brandon says I have to run, but it was great to catch up with you for a few minutes. It was great to catch up with you too, Brandon. Thank you. He says, when and why you got into yoga? No, I don't mind your questions at all. I got into yoga, I was about 11 years old. As a kid, twice a month or so, my parents, as teachers, would get paid and we would go out to eat. We would go grocery shopping. We would stop at the bookstore in the mall. And we were, as a kid, were allowed to pick out a book. Sometimes two, if it was like a paperback. If it was a new book, just one. Not always two, but my parents, being teachers, always encouraged us to read. And about 11, I picked up a book, Teach Yourself Yoga. And I asked my mom, can I get this one? She never said no to any book, always encouraged me to read anything and everything. But she said, are you sure you want this? And I did. And I proceeded to teach myself yoga. And I practiced it for a long time in my teen years, buying other books and other practices. And then my 20s, going to yoga classes and talking to yoga people, and then starting to read real books about yoga. Autobiography of a Yogi, books by Swami Muktananda, Nisargadatta Maharaj. And I learned how to meditate. It's been going on ever since. So I'm a certified meditation instructor through the Chopra Foundation, certified pranayama and breathwork coach through Yoga Body and Lucas Rock Point, but I can't remember the name of his organization. I'll have to bring it up. Oh, Bodsphere and Yoga Body were the two. And a 200-hour yoga teacher working on my 300 slowly through Bodsphere again. And, a lot of continuing education classes in yogic philosophy, yogic psychology. We got some unicorn vibes. Come to Ireland for some proper food. I'd love to come to Ireland. What would I eat if I went to Ireland? Hey, Carl, is it true? Do you like potatoes? Is that, I know it's a stereotype, right? We got some love from Toy Pups. Michael says, as bad as I hate to, I'm going to hop off and get some rest. Just want to come in and say hi. I appreciate that, Michael. I know it wasn't easy for you not feeling well. Potatoes and meat. Hey, do you like potatoes? I've been eating a lot of sweet potatoes. Guys, let me show you one more time. This is my pen from Nature's Dog Realms. Handcrafted. I'm going to write some beautiful stuff with this. Lucy says, or I'm sorry, Toy Pup says, not wearing my glasses, by the way. I got you covered. And Guinness. I used to like Guinness. Hey, Carl, is it true that you should never kiss the Blarney Stone? Zephyr says, I would pick Stanley Kubrick. What's your favorite film by Kubrick? Yeah, I don't know why I fell in love with yoga at such a young age, but I was always mystically bent. At a very young age, I started reading Carlos Castaneda, early teens. I remember buying the book by Chogyam Trungpa, The Way of Shambhala. Books by Osho before he was Osho, when he was back. Bijan Shri, I believe was his name. And again, I don't know why. There was an American killed in Blarney. What happened, Carl? Oh, about the Blarney Stone? I heard it was they basically laugh at tourists who go and kiss the Blarney Stone. That's what I heard. Might not be true. Same with movies. You know, I was attracted to those movies that had a little mystical and magical feel to them. It's not true. So it's safe to kiss. Not that I'm ever gonna kiss it. Not that I ever would, even if I was there. I don't want to kiss a stone that's been kissed by millions of other people. That's how you get cooties, man. I don't want cooties. I think I got cooties once in third grade. Potatoes are meat, so I could eat half of that. It's one of Cork's biggest attractions. Which county are you in, Carl? I know you are. I know you're in Dublin, but what county is Dublin in? Lucy says, "So do toy pups." Hey, Sniper, have you been to Ireland? Have you been to Scotland? Carl, you ever make it down into England or Wales? Kathy says, I will talk to you soon, Eric. Kathy, thanks for hanging out. I very much appreciate it. Oops, I never took my supplement. Well, I can't believe I've already been up for an hour. Let's see. Sepper says this number is a reoccurring Easter egg or secret code that appears throughout Star Wars saga. I'm not up in my Star Wars lore. We'll just take a wild guess and say 7. George Lucas was very much taken by the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads, as were a lot of great physicists. Schrödinger. I actually read a great quote by him not long ago that we can never get behind consciousness. That it's just consciousness. That's it. All the way down. Just like the turtles. Jamie says, hi to Squirrel Sniper. Hey Jamie, good deadlift, by the way. Jamie says hi to Sniper and to Carl. Your workout seemed to be going pretty well, Jamie. Carl says you're not leaving the table until you eat the meat. Boy, that would be a long wait, Carl. I have not had meat in... The last non-vegan thing that I ever had was salmon. I remember when I turned vegetarian, my friends took me out when I was about to turn. They said, let's go out and get one steak. And I guarantee you, after you have that steak, you won't want to turn vegetarian. Took me out to a very nice and fancy steakhouse. I ate the steak, and the next day I was a vegetarian. Sniper says, Scotland, yes, and the outer hybrids. Did I get that right? But never Ireland. I will one day if Carl allows it. What do you think, Carl? Sniper in Ireland? Carl says he's fed up with YouTube. YouTube is tough. It is tough. Again, we got some other friends who are going through some issues on YouTube. I feel bad. I know how it is. I've had my own dark YouTube moments. Man, I've had some really bright stuff too. And the bright far outweigh any of the down moments. When I've been at my worst, you guys were there. I will forever be grateful for you. I'll be grateful that YouTube put this great platform up that I can show up as often as I want and just talk about the things that I love to talk about, and that there's going to be one person somewhere on the entire interwebs that's going to say, man, that guy needs some company. You know, Flower? You guys remember Flower? Some of you might remember Flower. I know Sniper remembers Flower. That's how she found me. I just popped up on the algorithms, and she's like, oh, that poor old guy. No one's there. And she came, and she stayed for a year. I was there for you, Carl. I was most certainly there for you. I popped in, said hi. I got a chance to say hi to everyone, but I kept you up and running and listening while I cooked. I had you up as I cooked, and I had you up while I was eating. Jamie says he used the double overhand grip, and my grip would give out first. What do you like what did you like about that? Oh, I used the mixed grip. I just got to be careful not to flex my elbow. I might tear my bicep. Yeah, you want to take out all the slack. It is tough with the double overhand. Zipper says, Carl, you had 35 legs beating Eric. Now we're going to feud. You should be proud. 35 likes is awesome. I'm going to stay live until I get 35.5, 35 and a half. Jamie should be proud of everything that he's accomplished. Jamie himself has been through some hard times on YouTube. I know, Jamie, you've been close to packing it in, right? but you suck at thrill, you're building something. When you build something, you got to get that foundation. You got to know why you're building it. And that why carries you through. Remember the great quote by Anthony Robbins? One of my favorite teachers, people. But he said some good things. The quality of your life depends on the quality of your questions. So why am I on YouTube? Carl says, Allie stayed. I'm glad that she stayed. And I'm sorry that YouTube isn't notifying people. Hey, Carl, I searched for you. I knew that you were going live at 3. So when I finished my live stream, I searched you out and I waited. Carl says I have 50 by tomorrow. Awesome. I hope everyone gets all the likes that they deserve and they want. DC says sounds more like they didn't want you to be vegetarian. Probably not. Most people, for some reason, they don't. Hebridus. Nope, there's no I there. Hebrids. Oh, Carl, I think I said Jamie. Carl says you had 35 likes beating Eric tonight. You should be proud. 35 likes is awesome, Carl. Awesome. I bet if you stayed a little bit longer, you would have easily gotten 50. So, Carl, people have mentioned this too before. You have a wonderful live stream. You have a wonderful presence. People like coming there and people like staying there. Keep doing what you're doing, Carl. Jamie says, I've also heard about hook grip, but apparently you got to be careful with that one too. I think the mixed grip is the way to go. Just take out all the slack in your arms. Thank you, Toy Pups. Super chat, let it rain. Some gems on Yogi. Don't forget to smash the like button. Please subscribe. Thank you, my friend. Dipper says, Lucy, if you have a moment, can you pull one card about the energies on the 30th October for me, please? In your own time. Carl says, apart from Lilo, did Lee stay the whole time? Oh, if I packed it in, I wouldn't be missed. You would be missed. I know for a fact. Well, I know that Sniper would miss you, and I know 100%, 1,000% that Cat and Jack would miss you, and I know that I would miss you. DC says, yes, I can, Squirrel. If you're on Facebook or IG, Squirrel Sniper 138. Flip Up says, don't give up, Carl. Keep doing what you're doing. Everything is going to be okay. Everything takes time. Absolutely. PC will send an audio clip, Sniper. Jamie says, mixed grip helps with grip, but make sure not to turn it into a bicep curl. That would be a disaster. It would be a disaster for sure. In my years of deadlifting, I majorly hurt my back. In 1990, training for a powerlifting competition. Oddly enough, I was deadlifting over 400 pounds, and I hurt my back on a warm-up set with 225. It shifted. Carl says, I love Facebook. I like Facebook too. I like YouTube better though. Lisa says, I have 2 Facebook friends. Make sure you pick the right one. Oh, I have 2 Facebooks. Make sure you pick the right one. The one with my photo is the right one. Hey, Sniper. You can find her on my page. Just go to our friends. It took me about a year to recover. I was able to deadlift heavy again, but never as heavy as before. I was able to squat heavy. Would I recommend wearing a belt to protect your back? Well, here's the funny thing. I was wearing a belt, and I still hurt my back. Years after, I seldom ever deadlifted with a belt. Seldom. Sometimes, but seldom. And I didn't. You ever read Pavel Tsatsouline, Russian strength training coach? credited with reintroducing kettlebells back to America in the early 2000s. Um, he calls it creating your own virtual belt, squeezing the glutes, bracing the abs. And you got a virtual weightlifting belt. He believes it's much safer, and for most of the time, that's how I would deadlift after I hurt my back with very little trouble. I do like squatting with a belt though. I wear my belt with kettlebells, but not so much for the support. A little bit though. I re-injured my back 2 years ago. Still not 100%. I never went and got anything fixed. I just waited it out and did my own rehab. I do prehab every day. Carl says, if I go on Facebook, my friends are notified. Yeah, maybe Facebook is a little more organized than YouTube. Maybe. What would I have done differently to avoid putting it back out? I'll be honest with you. I don't know as I could have done anything differently. Um, I think it was a fluke. I started deadlifting at a very young age. As a freshman high school wrestler, I went down to 114 pounds. I lost some weight to get there, um, and deadlifted 330. I wanted to double my weight. So I had been deadlifting for quite some time, a lot of power, um, uh, Olympic lifting movements. Funny, I never got injured Olympic lifting. I loved Olympic lifting. I gave it up to start training kettlebell sport. It is harder than joints, though. If it says, okay, I wear a lower back harness for hedge cutting, off a ladder, doing tops, long reaching with heavy tools over long periods. Do you wear it for a brace or does it help with fatigue, prevent fatigue? DC says, Facebook or Instagram is the best way for me to communicate off YouTube. Me too, Lucy. $330 is about 150 kilogram, the weight I lifted. Yes. It's a good deadlift, Jamie. Helps core, Eric says Sniper. So my best deadlift ever, training for powerlifting, 435. 420 squat. I benched 320 a long time ago. It was not a very good bench. I had to get up to 300. I had to get up to 220 pounds in order to do it, and it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous being that big, and I was gym strong, but I never got any better at powerlifting. Middle of the pack. I have worn straps for um, deadlifts, for heavy shrugs, for pull-ups, and then I stopped. It was good for training, but at a certain point, training for competition, you can't use the straps in competition. Marlon says hook grip is best, in my opinion, but not for everyone. Bob Peoples, one of the greatest deadlifters ever. I think he pulled 770 at a body weight of 183 back in the 1960s. No performance enhancing anything. He was a farmer. Hey, Dan. He pulled with a double grip, overhand grip. Very unique style, and he had the longest arms in the world. Wow. Dan says, picked up 480 the other day, Yogi. Straight bar deadlift. It's a huge. Duncan says, would you recommend deadlifts or squats with weights for people over 50, 55? Man, that's a good question. I think people over 55, I would recommend goblet squats. Deficit trap. That's huge. That's a huge weight, Dan. I think goblet squats, strength and mobility in one shot, and they're safe. You will not injure yourself doing goblet squats. Hey, Sissy. Sissy says, Lucy, hello again. Um, there's a lot of benefits to doing weighted squats as you age. My back feels much better since I started doing squats again. Still not heavy. It'll never be heavy the way it was. Mainly because there's no reason for it to be heavy the way it was. If I work up to body weight, back up to body weight, sets of 10, maybe an occasional set of 20, I'll be happy. Fred says, go back to my theory about the Earth. Well, lay it out there for us, Fred. I got to warn you, though. I'm only going to be live for about 10 more minutes, maybe. Maybe not even that long. I actually just realized I'm an hour and 21 minutes in. It's a long time just for me to be talking. Usually that's like having a guest. But I'm enjoying my conversation with you guys. Dan, what's going on with the sandbags? Duncan says, hey to Lucy. Fred says, why is there oil in the earth? It's a good question. If we go by science, right, it would be the dying off of previous life forms. What is Sniper's theory about that? See you, Carl. Carl, thanks for hanging out with us. So much appreciated, my friend. Dan says 5 out of next. Easy. I bet. When are you going to put that heavy sandbag over your head, Dan? Was thinking about sandbagging tonight. Got a about 1,000 watt. Is that 1,000 or is that 10,000? 1,000 watt camping light. Where is oil located in my car? In the oil thing? In the oil thingy? Don't ask me technical questions, Fred. Evan says they're going to win the World Series. Awesome, Evan. You got to be happy about that. When was last time the Blue Jays won the World Series? I always sort of liked the Blue Jays. Do they still have the Expos? There's only 2 Canadian baseball teams, right? There should be more. Remains of ancient life forms. Zephyr says oil is an inexhaustible supply, in my honest opinion. Dan says maybe 150 overhead. What about push pressing it? Or how about like a jerk press? Getting underneath of it quick and then standing up. Maybe not like a split jerk, but you know, the old fashioned Olympic lifters, before they did the split jerk, they would do the push jerk. Basically, what I do when I'm doing my kettlebells. If I would add one more thing into the mix with the kettlebells, it might be sandbags. Sandbags are just a wonderful thing to do. You're building a solid foundation, you're getting a great core work, and you're working things through a range of motion that doesn't normally get worked any other way but sandbags, except maybe like if you're using a slush pipe with water in it. Then you should make one of those. Take some PVC piping, various sizes, but the thicker one, you're working your grip as well. And put gets depends on how heavy you want it to be. Put water in it. when you're lifting it, it's going to slide. So again, it's got an untraditional, non-traditional movement to it. The oil in your car right next to the blinker fluid by the muffler belt. But wait a minute, Dan, that makes no sense. That's where the flux capacitor goes. Did you forget about the flux capacitor? Dan says, sandbags beat a barbell. Don't ask me why, it just does. It does. Barbells are convenient. Obviously, you're never going to back squat a 420-pound sandbag. But when you're training with a sandbag, you don't need to squat 420 pounds. If you're shouldering a heavy 150, 200-pound sandbag, shoulder, 5 reps shouldering, put it on your shoulder, squat. You got an asymmetrical squat. Do the other side, squat. You're going to be fried. After you squat it, pick it up, bear hug it, and walk. Do that 10 times, call it a day. Take a 200-pound or 150-pound sandbag and xert your squat. And then put it overhead. Just so much you can do. If you got them with handles, you can do snatches as well. I don't think you need to. I like that rip and grip. Zipper says about all the Saudi's oil, while the reserves have been filled up. Oh, watch the oil field fill up over 20 years. By December, America will be announced their reserves are full, owning the world market. Huh, interesting. How is the world going to react to that, Sniper? Duncan says, I think a beginner is more likely to pull their back with the instability and imbalance of a sandbag. Yeah, okay, I would agree, Duncan. I would agree. If they had proper instructions and they built up to it, I think they would be fine. But how many people honestly want to properly learn how to lift something? Most people don't. I used to wonder that every New Year's. If you were to buy a computer, you would do all kinds of research, right? If you buy a car, you do all kinds of research on the car that you want. You know what you're going to do and how to do it. For some reason, people think you can walk in a weight room and just start doing weights and not have to learn how to do it. It says clothing you're wearing, oil, the phone in your hand, oil makes the world go round. Duncan says correct form crucial. It is. It is. There's a different lifting with sandbags and stonework. Lifting a stone is different. You're rounding your back. You're conforming to the stone. Dan says we get some unicorn vibes. Thank you, Lucy. What's a bricky, Sniper? A lot of people say about sandbags and rocks, it's actually the opposite. It's the most natural lift you can do. Also most primordial. So see, I can agree with that too. Again, because your body conforms to the rock versus lifting something that is away from you. Even that's riding up the legs, it's still slightly away from you. Fred says, this is proof that there is life on other planets far more advanced. What's the proof? Fred? Duncan says, I've always found symmetry in training is crucial. Did you ever believe in any asymmetrical work? Caveman lifting the carcass off the ground, rocks for the home. It's true. This is true. Like a year ago, we talked about dinosaur training. Brooks Kubrick still does it. There's a photo of him on Facebook. He was at the beach and floated timber and was doing curls with it. So it says 4 years of American prospering, like it's never done before. Even Nostradamus mentioned this phrase. Did they mention who's prospering though? You know, a lot of people are suffering right now, me included, because of inflation. And housing is not affordable. Tip says, oops, I read that. Man, I haven't had a good lifting fitness conversation with you guys for quite some time. I'm enjoying it. Squash is inherently asymmetrical. Right hand hitting preference to lunging on favored leg can lead to asymmetrical body strength. So for you, the key was, hey, Kelly, doing symmetrical training in order to keep things balanced. Hey, did you ever play against a left-handed person, and how was that? Fred says, what is oil for? Lubricating stuff? Oiling things? I use my oil to oil things. Grease my hair back. Fry my chicken. Make French fries. A brickie is slang for bricklayer. Gotcha. Cement carry sand and also hold full of bricks. Excuse me. That's the first time 2+ years of live streaming that I've sneezed unalive. I blame it on my cat, who immediately ran away. Kelly says hi to Jamie. Sissy says I'm learning. All right, guys, about 5 more minutes. So I got to wrap things up. Stephen says exactly what I said, leading the market in oil and gold and data. Fred says no one knows why oil is in the earth. It is there. I thought Sniper just said. I thought Sniper just explained why oil is in the earth. Duncan says important to balance the body strength to avoid injury. Yes, left-handed many times. Your backhand is their forehand. Did it throw you off at all, Duncan? Sissy says, God bless you. I did that yesterday. Thank you, Sissy. Dan says, everything in your house, everything you own is made from oil, commodity stuff. People always need no matter what. So what did we do before oil? Play to the other side of the court more. Got you. Duncan, before I head off for the night, what's going on with your training? We lived before oil. Yes, we did. We will live after oil. What's the big numbers that you're getting, Duncan? I haven't seen anything new in a bit. I see that I've been missing. How come you're not popping up? I see 3 weeks ago you got 147 Navy SEALs. 142 3 days ago. Have you hit 150 again? DC says so to Kelly. Oil has been used since day one. Duncan says, I have just done a speed 100 one pump burpees session. Just haven't seen your comment for a while. I'm sorry, Duncan. I will make it up for you. It just shows that it just goes to show you can't rely on algorithms to deliver the people that you love to your YouTube doorstep. You got to search them out. Duncan, my bad. Kelly says, I don't know why I just got here. That's okay, Kelly. I appreciate you being here. Kelly says, not in the capacity it used to today. But it wasn't refined from day one, right? It was present in the animals, it was present in the plants, but it wasn't refined until we learned how to refine. Let's talk precious metals. Well, I got to wrap things up and go to bed. It would be an interesting conversation sometime, though. It would be very limited on my end. We didn't have plastics from day one, that's for sure. It would have made it easier, though, to carry our mammoth leftovers, right? If we had a good plastic container to put our mammoth leftovers in. So what time did I get for my 101 pumps? 8 minutes and 21 seconds. Good night, Lucy. Kelly says yes, to keep them fresh. Because mammoth and mastodon doesn't stay fresh very long. Oh well, Snipers are going to carve Praveen's cricket and Baltimore, weather permits. Good night, Kelly. Duncan says nope. Under or over? Oh, I bet you got it in 5 minutes. I bet you got it in just around 5 minutes, Duncan. Because you were hitting 301 pumps in 20, right? What was your best one pump? Kelly says dependent on the temperature, but jerky would have been great. I used to make jerky when I was a kid. Duncan says, I think you have forgotten burpee times. I have. It's been a while, Duncan. Under. So it's got to be under 5 minutes. 4 minutes and 42 seconds. Who is driving Spaceship Earth? My guess is William Shatner. Duncan says 20 minutes, 325, although once I did 325 with a few seconds spare. You are a full-blown busy dad warrior. You've done it all. You hit the numbers. So yeah, it's got to be 4 minutes for your 100 one pumps. Zipper says, Fred, maybe the collective of consciousness. Don't discount my William Shatner theory. Duncan says I stopped really once I got 325 and 150 seals. Crazy, crazy numbers. What's left for Duncan Walsh? Champion squash player, world champion squash player. I hope it's Shatner. He said science is sci-fi. Duncan, did you put a video up? Hey, let me throw this out there, by the way. Duncan Walsh, formerly Fitness Motivation, is now Duncan Walsh, $1 billion syndrome Duncan Walsh. There's a reason $1 billion syndrome, because if someone offered you $1 billion to get in the best shape of your life, wouldn't you do it? I would. And I'm in pretty good shape. Duncan has a $1 billion syndrome challenge for you. He will help you get in the best shape of your life. Don't believe him? Don't believe me? That's fair enough. You don't have to believe him. Give it a test. Give it a test. Go over to Duncan Walsh. Duncan, you can drop your link before I go to bed if you want. And he has a plan for you. No equipment. Whatever level you are. And he will take you to whatever level you want to be. He is very affordable. And you can do the discount, by the way. If you put in Yogi 25, you get a 25% discount. Yes, fit of the 325. But I remember that. I was wondering if you put up a video of your 100 speed reps that you got. Kelly says, I would without being offered any money. I just want to be healthy and strong. Me too, Kelly, for as long as possible. Dan says, Squirrel, Captain Kirk's future birthplace is 40-minute drive for me, Riverside, Iowa. I remember he was born in Iowa. He went a long way from home, didn't he? Duncan says, I'm thinking of putting the plans in a members area, actually, now. One offer to get the plans and follow along. One offer to include coaching. I like that, Duncan. Oh, the 100 speed is next, tomorrow or next day. All right, Duncan, I will be on the lookout. I will not make this mistake again, my friend. As a matter of fact, I'm going to save your channel. On my desktop. So I don't have to look for it. And I don't have to wait for pesky algorithms to bring you up. Once again, I do apologize. Oh, he will be born in the future. This is true. What year did Star Trek take place? Zipper says Bezos denied him the greatest speech of his life. Man, those rich people. Duncan says, does everyone realize Eric has a members area? I know Duncan does. I know Squirrel Sniper does. As a matter of fact, Duncan was essential for me having him and Eric LaPointe, for me having a members area. I am very grateful for that. You guys have been awesome for me. And I thank you. Zipper says, after him, going to outer space with him. All right, guys, I got to head to bed. I'm up late. Duncan says, I want that red, Duncan. Duncan says, you should push it more and offer personalized yogi training sessions. Good night, Kelly. I've thought about that, Duncan, and you've suggested it a few times. It's an awesome suggestion. Right now, my main interest has been bringing up guests and offering some insights from great, great teachers. Also bringing up just the average person who is sincerely practicing yoga or sincerely practicing A Course in Miracles or Buddhism or Sufism, whatever it is. These are the people I want to bring up and have conversations with. Not an interview, conversation. All right, guys, I'm going to take off. I will see everyone tomorrow, 5 a.m. Thanks for coming in, hanging out with me. It was a lot of fun. Love you guys.